folks, this is Art coming at you with another video. I want to talk about does the comic book industry even care about its older fans anymore? Now, I recently was thinking about this because I was seeing some videos online, and I was actually in my comic shop today buying my weekly books, and I just started to notice like most of the people that come in there are older gentlemen, 35 to 55. Gray hairs, of course. People that grew up in the comics in the 80s and 90s that's still collecting to this day. And when I look what's going on in the books today, it doesn't seem like these companies are actually catering to this crowd of men that are collecting these books, men and women that are actually collecting these books. And it does not seem like they're listening to us old heads that's been in the game for a minute. Now, like I said, I just turned 40 this year. I got another friend who still collects. He turned 45. And I have another friend who owns his own comic shop, and he's almost getting up there to 50. Not quite there yet, but he still enjoys the genre. And I have to wonder, do these companies even care about us that's still keeping this genre alive? I mean, let's face it, manga right now is killing it in the comic industry. Manga's kicking American comics' butt. And the most people I see that's buying manga are younger people, because you had this big, thick book that's only $10 that you can read and get a good story out of. Now, manga does have a place in a local LCS. That's fine. That's cool. But when it comes to the American comic book, it seems like it's skewing older. But yet they're advertising to the younger crowd. And this is where the disconnect comes from, because these comics are being bought by the demographic that they're not catering to. They're not catering to us. They're catering to this younger subsection of people that frankly don't care about the comics, which baffles me, because if you think in business, you would think that you would want to cater to the people that are buying your books. And if you don't cater to the people that are buying your books, then what are you doing? You're not doing good business sense. You're not doing due diligence of trying to retain the customers that are actually spending the money that's floating your business or floating these businesses. Now, granted, I understand. You want to bring in newer people. That's what any business model would want to do. How do we get these people into this industry? Well, one of the things you will need to do is cast a wider audience, or try to cast those people. And I think that's what they're trying to do. The only problem is that they're leaving the older fans in the dust. Because there's a lot of older guys that are reading this stuff and that I talk to, and they say, yeah, that's not good, that's not good, that's not good. This story's whack, this story's trash, this, that, and the third. Like, literally, I used to spend, and I'm not ashamed of it, I used to spend $120 in my comic book shop a week. I have dropped it down to about $75. And if some of these books don't pan out, it's probably going to be down to about $50 a week. At best, $50 a week. Because I cannot keep pouring money into this hobby if everything that I'm reading, if everything that I'm getting is not worth it. If it's not panning out. Because I invest a lot of money into this hobby. Because this is the one hobby that I can truly love. Other than drawing. And so, when I see these characters act outside of themselves or portrayed in a way that is very, very suspect, it turns me off to this hobby. It really does. It turns me off into just collecting. And basically, they're not listening to me. I'm the guy that spends quite a bit of money into these stores. I'm the guy that they should be listening to because I'm willing to give you money. And the stuff that they're doing is not conducive to me staying. I mean, just someone was talking about they're thinking about making Batman gay. And I'm just like, when has that ever happened? Now, keep in mind, there was a point in time where they thought Batman was the P word with Robin. And we know all the jokes because they were sleeping in the same bed and all this other stuff in the old books. They fixed that, they retconned that, but it still lingers on. Trust me, I get it. But that's going to open up a whole other can of worms. And it's not the character that we read from the 80s and 90s. Because keep in mind, we're still in this game. We still want to see these characters. But we want to see them in the same light that we saw them in. Now, I know things can't stay the same. Heaven forbid. But does everything need to change? Why can't you cater to us a little bit? Because we're the ones that have the disposable income that can buy these books. We do. We have the disposable income. We've made the money within our lives, and we want to sit down and enjoy the escapism of comic books. We want to see Spider-Man duke it out with the Green Goblin. I don't want to see Spider-Man and the Green Goblin team up and have a Green Goblin Spider-Man suit, which is another book I'm getting ready to drop out the next week. Once I get that cover and that comic, I'm done. I'm not picking up Spider-Man. I'm going to wait for Dan Slott Spider-Man to see if that's going to be any good. Same thing with the X-Men. I'm pretty much dropping almost all my X-Men books, particularly maybe keeping Wolverine around, but that's on thin ice at the moment. And this new event, AXE, Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals, if the next issue doesn't wow me, because this has been a snore fest, I'm dropping that as well. I'm not even finishing. I'm not even going to complete it. I will hear about it from the grapevine. I am not spending a lot of money on that story, and it's boring. It's nothing going on. Even with Dark Crisis, it's a little bit better, but still, it's not something that I'm willing to invest a lot of money into. It's not. And this has been going on for the past, for me particularly, it's been going on for the past 3 to 4 years, where I feel like this hobby's not worth it at the time, or at this time, because it's just like I'm struggling along. I'm trying to support my comic shops because of what happened during the COVID situation. I went to every single comic shop in my area and spent good amount of money just to show support. But DC, Image, Marvel, and whoever else are making it hard, because I'm willing to give my money, but you're not willing to give me anything as a consumer. And that's why I feel like these places are not really catering to these older guys who have that disposable income. I understand they need to get the younger people in. Well, how you get those younger people in? You start them, just getting them at their young age. How about making a deal with like Kmart? Well, if you have a Kmart now, Walmart, maybe get some of these discount stores to go off on your old books. Like, I think the one discount store we have that actually does have comic books is called Ollie's. Ollie's has a comic books that they have. They need to have a comic book rack in Walmart in the toy aisle, because that's where kids go to see toys. You need to get these kids at a very young age, and I would hope that you will get these kids with these comic book packs. You have all of these overstock of comic books that you just need to get rid of. That's how you get these kids. You get them with these comic packs where you get like 5 comics for like $5, where the parents say, okay, that's a good deal. You get 5 comic books for $5 something. maybe cut the price, because these comic book prices are high. I mean, $4 to $5 for a book is extremely high, and it's going to make a parent think secondhand about, like, well, you got this floppy here for $5. Why not go ahead and get you a manga for $10, and it's a thicker book and you might enjoy it more? Because that's what the kids are doing. The young kids are going to manga because it's cheaper and it's a thicker, and it has compelling storytelling made for everybody. And with the movies, the MCU, the DCEU out right now, and you can be excited about going to the movies and see your characters on the big screen, it's a no-brainer that you need to go ahead and put your comic books into these stores so that way people can get them. They used to do it in the 90s. I don't know why they're not doing it now. If at best, for what I'm seeing, is that all their overstock is going to these discount stores, which is not, it's not a bad idea, but it's not a good one either when you can't even get it into the major outlet stores. You can't get a consistent month by month storylines into these Walmarts and stuff like that to where kids can see these books and go get them, especially in these packs, or even sell smaller editions of the books. You can sell a smaller edition trade paperback. It probably will be cheaper. The interiors could be a lesser grade of paper than what you go to your LCS, because, like I said, we comic book guys, we like the higher grade paper. We're willing to pay for it. And if you put the comic in Walmart, put on a lower grade paper. That's all you gotta do. Todd McFarlane is still selling his book for $2.99. That book is getting bought regardless. Regardless if it's good or not. I mean, you got a $2.99 book compared to a $4 to $5 book. I'm saving $1 every time I buy his book. And he puts it on probably not the greatest of paper in the world. He don't care. He's like, I'm undercutting everybody. I'm trying to be competitive. And that's what he did. And he's doing a phenomenal job doing it. He's doing what he needs to do to cut costs. And that's what the comic book industry needs to do. Cut costs. I remember back in the day when it was just a regular book. The paper was not that great. But when it came to the big events, they upgraded the paper because they knew comic collectors were going to get those books. They knew. And guess what? Comic collectors bought those books. You know, the older guys, the older gentlemen that have the income to do that. Kids don't. Kids barely get an allowance. And parents are not going to sit there and spend a lot of money on a book, a comic book like that. They feel like it can be spent better elsewhere. Hell, even a video game at this point. But yeah, the comic industry itself it's not really listening to the older guys. They're really not. And it's a shame if they want to start selling books, because the numbers are pretty bad right now for a lot of books. They will start listening to us. They will start listening to us about what we want instead of listening to a small niche group that don't buy comic books. I'm sorry. This is their fault. This is all their fault. They're listening. If they don't want to listen to us and they want to listen to this niche group and then they don't sell books, guess what? They deserve everything they get because they're the ones that's not listening. And this model that they're doing is not going to sustain itself. What's going to end up happening is they're going to retcon everything. And back over again, we're going to have number one issues all over again. We're going to have another Convergence. You're going to have another Civil War or Secret Wars that's going to retool this universe so that way it can go somewhere. Because the way it's going now, a change is going to have to come. A change is going to have to come. And they better be hope that these older folks are still going to be here and just not tired of this crap and just move on. But that's all I gotta say. Like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you guys later. Deuces.